Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you gotta get spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, December is January 7th. And this is Live Trade Trading with me, Speculator Seth. And we're going to have an interesting day today. Let me rearrange I don't feel comfortable here. I'm going to rearrange everything. Well, let's go over to the chart here. So basically yesterday, I really want to look at the ES. So yesterday we had a gap, right? Yesterday they closed the gap and then some. Really quite an impressive day. Very, very bullish, I say. But, you know, this is only like the third day or so after all of this Iran stuff. So today is a day where we kind of find out what the real deal is. Do they continue up or not? So that's kind of our setup here. We come over to the 10-year. You can see they had a pretty ugly drop, but now they're within range. They're kind of bouncing. They didn't get this point of control down here, although if they do decide to go to the downside, I think that would be a good target, and maybe even beyond that. Oh, what do I have on here? I got this little, that's not useful. But anyways, not useful at the moment. This 128.31 half, 129 area again could be important too. And that's basically what we got there. Let's pull down some of these. I want to see, where is it? Weekly, daily, then monthly. There we go. Okay, so we are still negative on the week we are negative in the week on treasuries, but positive on the month and slightly positive on the day. Okay, so that we don't really have a whole lot confluence of stuff over here. Where's the right? 60 minute. All right. So it's a little bit mixed, I guess we could say. Yeah, you can see it down in this. There's a little bit of red. Kind of the same thing here in the E-mini. We're actually down on the hour, up on the day. Inside, come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. It should be fun, right? That, you know what that was FOMC. From last December. Remember when he said they first of all they raised rates, which the market was really upset about, but then his press conference was just absolutely terrible, and I made so much money on that, and I felt so lucky because it was just from what he was saying, That's always a risky trade, and I was like, you know what? If I keep trading like this, I'm not going to be able to keep it. I need to control myself a little bit, and I'm always going back and forth between that. Right? I'll do really well, and then I'll start getting reckless. I really need to tamp down on our discipline here. I think that we're making some progress, though. Well, I still sound terrible. But I don't think it's my throat. I think that stuff is coming up from my chest. And I don't know if I'm like over it and it's just cleaning itself out or what the deal is. But man, I was so tired yesterday. Like remember I was like falling asleep. Wow, they're selling here off of the open in the treasuries. Look at that. I'm not really getting an actionable. Maybe right here a little bit. Like now they're starting to pick up. There was an interesting change there. It looks like there was quite a bit of stacking here, and then they dumped it. That is extremely interesting. But if they're getting enough activity here, they might have to come back a little bit. Cough drops, mate. I don't think it's that bad. Like, I can sit here. I don't feel like the uncontrollable urge to cough. You know what I mean? Bitcoin about to hit my 20K target. Yeah, right. Come on. They did move up, didn't they? I was looking at that this morning, though. Where is it now? 120. Is that right? Yeah. Because, of course, yesterday they had this move up to here, right? Now up to 8,000. But when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that kind of looks like the one where they move it up and then they immediately slam it back down on you. So, I don't know. Somebody seems determined to make the start of the year look really good, though. You see, you hear that, like, that kind of sound with the cough. That is what I think that we call this walking pneumonia. I think I have walking pneumonia.
Gary Rich says I am buying Dash, HODL.
Well, what's with these treasuries, guys? I don't see the equities reacting. I don't even really see this XJ reacting. A little bit. This XJ is reacting a little bit on that.
Gary Rich says I am not joking.
Buying Dash? Okay. Well.
Eric Cages says rising wedge. Might be a corrective impulse according to Elliott Wave.
Meh. I think that any pattern that you see is irrelevant. Is what is the word? Inconsequential compared to the power of whales. As my Ethereum sticking to it. Okay, quite a bit of absorption there at 0.8 That would be the VWAP. So you would expect to see a little bit of stuff there. And again, quite a good bit of activity on it.
Eric Cages says Dash is trash.
Dash is
Eric
trash.
Cages says you know what they say.
Is that what they say? I think that somebody gave me some Dash and I lost it. And I don't really remember what isn't it kind of just like Litecoin? I don't remember. I have to look it up again. Okay, so definitely iceberg. I was thinking about this the other day because we get these things. This one is interesting because you can see there that was like the initial impulse down. Not that much activity or volume on it in reality.
Eric Cages says isn't every coin like Litecoin?
I need to load some levels. Isn't every coin like Litecoin? I mean, that's a pretty good point. So it might be wise for me to.
Gary Rich says y'all don't know how to trade cryptos, just puppies. I am a wolf.
Okay. Well, until Bitcoin gives it up. Here's the thing. It seems to me that Bitcoin refuses that the people trading Bitcoin, they're unaware that what they're buying is not worth as much as they want. And they're basically it's refusing to go down to value. So Bitcoin will continue to struggle until they come to that realization. Well, the problem is they're never going to do that. But they're also refused to increase the block size. So you're kind of stuck. I think that until they increase the block size, that it's just going to be more of the same.
Garlic futures.
It'll be like you'll get a good run. They'll be able to make it to like 10
Gary
to 12.
Rich
and
says
then,
what is true value of Bitcoin?
I would say that right now it's probably around 6K. Somewhere in that range. Like my indicator is supposed to stay between 50 and 100, or historically that's where it's been ever since the past year.
Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin.
Yeah. The past year, it's been between...
Gary Rich says, oh, give me a break.
Yeah. The past year, it's been between 100 and 120. Usually more around 120, okay? Now, at 150, it like almost always crashes, right? So when you put it in that perspective, okay, how much higher can you really go? 12, 15K, and then they fall back down. And that's what's been happening. They made a really good run. I mean, like, listen, this run is great, right? For these past 2 days in Bitcoin looks pretty positive, but you know, we've had runs, we've had like 2 or 3 runs like this, and then they fizzle out because there's not enough support on the blockchain to handle it. You can't get enough people to come in and start actually transacting with it to create enough volume to push it up. You have rich people.
Gary Rich says, hey,
coming in with their money.
Are a dilution of your original Bitcoin investment.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. And I do feel, I mean, I don't feel like Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. There, honestly.
Air Cages says Bitcoin's true value is 10 million. You just don't know it yet.
The true Bitcoin doesn't exist anymore. They've all forked enough that it's beyond the original vision. I mean, the idea of the true Bitcoin is really kind of an oxymoron, right? Without Satoshi around. If Satoshi was around and he said this is the real Bitcoin, then I guess you could say that.
Uzi Knesset says BTC true value is 4.9 octillion.
But otherwise, my opinion is that they've forked, they've changed it, and it has evolved into something different. And in that respect, what is the true Bitcoin doesn't matter. So they did find some temporary support there around 0.8 bouncing a little bit. It's a pretty pathetic bounce so far. Anyways, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing though, is like, I think that Bitcoin Cash has a better future.
Gary Rich says it once was decentralized, now that Fart Dream is gone.
Yeah, it's become centralized. It's not really usable for real transactions anymore. I mean, I guess if you were to use it today, it would probably be okay. But the situation has been as such that no company would want to make a long-term investment in it, because at some point you get the fees and then the retailers are screwed. They already made that mistake once. They're not going to do it again. So that's why I say eventually. It'll take a really long time, but I think eventually, based on fundamentals, Bitcoin Cash would win out.
Air Cages says Seth is the real Satoshi Nakamoto.
I wish, man. I wish. Listen, if I was the real Satoshi Nakamoto, I wouldn't be sitting around here twiddling my thumbs while the cryptocurrency world goes crazy. Knowing what I know about how the blockchain has historically affected value, I would be like super upset about what's going on right now and would be stepping in and being like, hey, Blockstream, shut up. Go away. And they look pretty happy at 0.8. I don't know about that. Also, the equities fell the opening range high.
Air Cages says that's exactly what someone pretending not to be the real Satoshi would say. Gary Rich says Satoshi is just as real as Bigfoot. Another mythical creature we all wanna believe.
We all want to believe. Well, remember there was that story about that guy in Japan, and he said he was the real Satoshi, but he couldn't come out completely yet because he was afraid of his life or something. I guess that's legit. That sounds like a legitimate excuse. That's why I'm not revealing, guys. That's why I'm not revealing why I'm the real Satoshi. It's because I've already been harassed enough here on YouTube. And I'm afraid for my life. And if I came out as the real Satoshi, people
Eric
would
Cages
come
says
in.
Everyone knows Bitcoin coded itself into existence.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there's not somebody in chat already going, no, it was the CIA wrote it. That was a conspiracy theory you guys used to share with me all the time.
Uzi Knesset says Skynet astonished face.
Skynet. I'm interested here. So Uzi, on with the way that you interpret the opening range, at what point would you be like, okay, let's go short? Like if we get down to like 065, I've asked you this before, haven't we? I kind of feel like that treasuries could fall today if equities decide to go bullish, and then I feel like that initial push down kind of
Eric Cages says could Satoshi be AI? Idea. Mind blown.
That'd be amazing. It was a person. It's probably multiple people, in fact. I have a hard time believing that one person.
Uzi Knesset says I can only tell ya from a ZB reference, boot.
Oh yeah, sorry. So like 22. Excuse me. Because we started out, we were above the opening range high. And then the initial move right from the open was dive right into the opening range. And then found some support. So I think that what you would see is a little bit of weak support and then a downturn, right? Oh, actually, it might be giving me a short right here.
Gary Rich says watch the first 5 minutes of the open, last 5 minutes of closing range, draw your lines. Uzi Knesset says IB low at 57.22 is holding, days open as 57.24 and interest in selling down here isn't very high. 22.24 worth a risk for a long at 3 tick stop.
So it did give me a potential short right there at 09. That one's a little tepid though, and I think that it was largely created by these icebergs. It seems like there's some icebergs trying to short it.
Eric Cages says I forget to ask, are you trading a live account?
Not on the treasuries. Not on the treasuries. Some of my trades in the E-mini are live. I think for now I would just say no. Because it's been pretty inconsistent lately. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Does it matter if I'm trading a live account if I'm not doing like really well? Ooh, and this is both on both sides there now.
Uzi Knesset says if selling interest popped below those levels, I could take it as she goes to the downside value target at 57.16, but as far as shorts go, unless today evolves into a full-blown trend day.
Right.
Uzi Knesset says I missed the short of the day at the top of value.
Oh, you were around back when it was up there? Well, I guess we could have shorted at the open, huh?
Eric Cages says guys, don't forget to dislike and report this video.
No. Give it. Wait, I would appreciate likes if you could. Man. You know what? This just reminds me. I'm getting really frustrated with the YouTube right now. So like there's some videos out there. So one guy, not my personal information, although I'm sure it's only a matter of time, but we have a friend in Discord, his personal information, like literally like his email and all this sort of stuff is being displayed on screen in a video. And he did not do anything
I had
about
my
it.
platform running, but I wasn't at the desk, lol. but as far as the way the market is now, that was the short opportunity for the day.
Yeah, I got you. Well, they might give us another one here. This one looks to me though like iceberging that they might push through. I don't think that there was enough of an impulse there in the 10-year on a minute basis to justify the short there. Anyways, this guy reported some of these videos, and he's still waiting back on some of them, and on one of them they said no because it was just his name. So apparently, if somebody is sharing my real name out there, that's not a violation of privacy.
Gary Rich says these suckers went long crude on Iran, dipshits. I enjoy taking dumb money from dipshits.
You'd been making money in a while.
50% point of yesterday's range is at 58.07 and there's a heavy offer just ahead of that at 05. There could be another sell opportunity if we get back up there.
Oh yeah, we're down. Well, they sold yesterday at least. 158.07, and there's a heavy offer just ahead of that. Yeah, I don't know. I see that. You know, it's always interesting when you come in and the big offer, you know, is above the market instead of like just at it or where it stopped last time.
Uzi Knesset says relatively heavy, lol.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're having a hard time at 10 right there, right? There was a bunch of iceberging and it's still kind of going back and forth. I think though, you know, yesterday they had a couple of setups that were really the setup that I was looking for. That's when I was like, okay, I want to watch. And then I really saw it and I kind of like, it kind of clicked in my head like, okay, you know, what we're really looking for is.
Eric Cages says calling people losing money dipshits LMAO, get over yourself, master trader.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sometimes it really is like, why are people buying this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But he's probably right. You might get a little cocky, Gary. You might be careful. But you know, I was just thinking, you know, when we get this, that means that everybody clicked. So
Uzi Knesset says looking at overnight value development, there hasn't been much interest in selling below value, but buyers have tested the top side a few times.
Okay. That's a good point. If I just kind of zoom back out here. Yeah. This is just one to show you, like yesterday here. You know, like that one right there was like a really good sell. Doom, doom, doom. Everybody's clicking in, and then you know, since everybody's done that, you're going to see the activity level decrease, and the trade is basically capitalizing on the activity level decrease that you should expect to see. That's really the way that it is. And so doing it on a one range chart doesn't make sense. That's just showing me the iceberg. So I think that some of my previous stats were based on icebergs.
Gary Rich says nope, 15 years of not being the real dumb money. Making money in the markets is easy. Challenge is keeping it.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Liquidity is a little interesting here too, because like notice that at 05 half in the 10-year, in 05 there's threes and almost a 4, and in the 5-year, pretty good little, you know, bubble here below us pushing us up, but then a big one down here. Nothing to the upside on these instruments. One to the upside in the ZB. So perhaps suggesting spreading. And our spreads, well, the 2s and 10s has been getting better. Oh, you know what we should also factor in here is there's some news today, right? So there was, so they were probably moving off of the trade balance, weren't they? No. It came in roughly in line, 43.1 versus 44.5. But then we got ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Okay. So it's probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be expecting some huge move here, does it? Maybe we could take something in the E-mini. E-mini kind of extended a little bit overnight, and it was just come back to where they ended yesterday.
Uzi Knesset says I look at that big guy at 05 as a stubborn seller. He wants his 05. If he don't get it, we'll range OR go down to test 57.16.
Right. You think he's going to sell it either way, and if there's a certain point at which it becomes clear that there's no way he's going to get it, then he might start moving down and it could push us. And that one would make sense. Like, I think
RCH
the ones...
says morning.
Hey, Wrong, how have you been? It's been a few days.
Air Cages says, Seth, how did you get so good with talking at the camera?
What do you mean so good at talking at the camera?
Uzi Knesset says, yeah, he'll dump lower but not below value.
Gotcha.
Uzi Knesset says if he has to.
It makes sense. I mean, I think it's totally it's theory that makes sense, but so we're coming back up to 10 here. So that was kind of the bottom of the range that we failed. It's like 10.5, really. 10.5, depending on how you like sort things. That's like a 50% retracement of it too, which is funny. So that could mean that move was just traders maybe trading off of the
Air Cages says I mean in terms of live streams and YouTube videos. Did it feel awkward to stream or record on YouTube?
You know, not really, to be honest. The thing was, when I first started doing it and it wasn't live and I was just talking to myself, and I guess that was just kind of practice. So I never had the pressure of like people watching it live. And then we did that live Bitcoin thing. And the thing that was funny with that was like I went and I started it and then I walked away for a little bit. And then I came back and there was like thousands of people watching. And I'm like, oh, wow. And people started asking me questions. And so, when people are talking to you and asking you questions, it's easy. You just ask questions. And I think, I did the DJ thing. Hold on. I'm trying to fix my microphone here. I did the DJ thing, so I wasn't uncomfortable getting up and doing stuff in front of people. I don't know. And honestly, your brain just kind of goes into like it almost becomes a habit at some point.
JB says you still talk to yourself. We've all got you on mute, grinning face with big eyes.
Sometimes it's true. I do know that you guys, when you're focused, I can tell now. Like the other day when I was into trade, and it was like quiet, and I'm like, oh, I thought that everybody would be like excited about what's going on. But no, you were all focused on your own stuff and probably had me on mute. Now, making the videos, the one-off videos, that is hard sometimes because you can't just yap. Like with you guys here, if I say something that doesn't make sense or
JB
is
says
incomplete.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, JB. But if I say something that's like incomplete, you'll just ask me and I don't have to worry about it, right? But when I'm making a video, it's like I've got to be, on the ball. And so I've been trying to like write scripts up and everything, but I can't like read off of the script because then I'm not looking at the camera. So I kind of have to just read it and have a really good idea of what I'm saying. And sometimes when I'm making those videos, it'll be like 20 cuts for one sentence. and I feel so awkward when I'm doing that. I feel so dumb. I mean, it's fun, but you feel kind of silly at the same time. It kind of helps when I can convince my wife to sit in, because she'll tell me to redo stuff. That's what I need as a director. What I would really like to do, because for me, you got to remember, like, priority number one is still trading for sure. I have no intention of becoming like a full-time streamer person and making all my money off of that. Wouldn't mind if I made a ton of money from it, but I want to make my money from trading. That's my goal. And but my goal now with the profitability of it, because we get okay money from the advertising, at least more than I ever thought I would make from Google. And now, like, my big dream is, like, I want to be making enough money that other people are making money off of me making money. Like I want to support the income of other people. So it would be really cool to me if the YouTube channel was making enough money that I could hire a video editor or a producer or somebody like that, to kind of help me with those sorts of things. Man, I really thought that uptick at 10.5 was like positive, but they gave it up almost immediately. I'm looking at my camera here and it's not quite right. It needs to be moved over. I'm going to move it. I'm like, if I'm like not exactly centered. Let's see if I can get it. Just a little bit. And then
RZH says at UZI give me some shekel winking face.
Because I was able to get it just slightly closer. That's a little better. I think that's a little better. That actually was probably a little bit too much. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh.
Air Cages says I think YouTube is the next TikTok.
You know what would be interesting is if YouTube made TikTok-like features. That would be cool. I'd be all down with that. Oh, man. Like, the thing that's so cool with TikTok, that just blows my mind, is you just open the app and it just starts playing. And all you do is you say, oh, I'm not interested in this, and you swipe up, and that's it. That's like all the control that you get. It picks what you watch. And it does a really amazing job at it. Like, I really enjoy most of the stuff that it shows me. And they say that the average
Gary
TikTok
Rich
user...
says, hey, did you hear TikTok was banned by military? Chinese spying from TikTok.
It's
Gary Rich says by asterisk.
By the military. Oh yeah, I mean, there's totally spyware in it. The Chinese are listening to me right now. No question about it, folks. Absolutely, you're probably right. Absolutely, probably. You're probably right. Eventually, maybe an American competitor will
JB says sounds like you need some ad blockers.
But I would say TikTok has done such a good job at it that I don't know. Maybe YouTube will do
Gary Rich says they gonna backdoor your trading profits via TikTok.
Yes, because they totally can't just watch the stream.
Says I'm listening to the Seth grinning face with sweat.
Yes, is wrong. Is wrong is actually secretly a top Chinese official. He waited for me to be like, maximum the trade war is never going to end, and then he was like, okay guys, it's time now. Seth is fully committed. Now we can make a deal. Okay, now they're holding 10.5. Now they're holding it. I think that they could maybe still fiddle with it a little bit, but that 1360 and it's been up for a little bit longer.
Air Cages says, is it possible to be consistently unprofitable minus commissions?
No, probably not. At some point, you're going to catch that big winner. I mean, I guess it depends on what time frame. On a yearly time frame, absolutely. Absolutely. On a yearly time frame. I was just thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot. Because it seems to me that one of the problems that we have, because, we've been dealing with, what was say, dishonest marketing practices is the most correct way to phrase it. And it's multiple sources, but I'm not going to go into names because then you're just giving them attention. But, there's some dishonest marketing practices out there. And the thing that's kind of sucks about it is like, what do you do about this? But the problem is there's so much incentive for them to do it because all they have to do is get one person. Like, honestly, if you're selling a trading education or something.
says, is it a Vinny, a Steve, or a Tony? Lol.
Yes, it is actually. So my wife was wanting to do, well, not Vinny, but for names for babies.
Ace Trades says morning.
What was it that she wanted to do? Oh my gosh.
Gary Rich says, just sign up for Tasty Trade, slow way to give commissions and fees away. ROFL lol suckers.
Oh, there you go.
Uzi Knesset says, told ya person shrugging LMAO.
It wasn't a Vinny. What was it? Why am I having such a hard time? Do I have to, maybe it's in my note. Maybe it's in my note here. Like, I reject it. Maybe I'd never put it on there. Yeah, I don't think I ever put it on.
Ace Trades says, looking for a short.
You looking for a short, Ace? Well, I mean, that makes sense. It is now to the point where I could feel comfortable taking shorts.
Uzi Knesset says, if I'm looking for a contractor, I'll legit reject any bids from anyone with those names lol.
Really? I forget what the name was, but it was like a name that I was like, okay, so the
Gary Rich says at Ace, that's what she said.
I was like, that's somebody that commits financial crimes, dear. We can't name our kid that. She's like, no, it's not.
Algo Lover says, how's life? Thinking face.
Oh, I'm still sick. I've been a little stressed out, I think. I'm noticing. I must not react to stress the same way that other people do, because I don't feel like I'm stressed out. I do not feel that. In fact, sometimes I feel quite relaxed, but I can tell, like, my eye will twitch. My eye will twitch, and then I know, okay, I must be going through a lot of stress. I can kind of see there that they stopped.
Algo Lover says, better to rest than trade. Emo okay hand.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling okay today. I'm hoping that today is like just the clean out day. Like my body's over it and it's just got to clear the gunk out, but I could be wrong. It does kind of look like they want to sell it there. I'm almost tempted to just sell it at 22.39.75. Archie, that's what it was. She wanted to name him Archie.
Gary Rich says Seth run naked in the snow. Cold shock therapy works.
I don't.
Polar Seth.
I don't know where this name got this connotation for me, but to me, Archie is like the name of a criminal. Anyways, I get distracted there. The thing was, I was saying, okay, these people, right? All they have to do is get one person. If you're selling a course and it's like $5,000, man, you scam one person a month, you're in good territory,
says,
right?
Well, feel better and HAGD. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thank you, Algo. How have you been doing lately, by the way? I wouldn't hear much from you in December, and I'm wondering how you did when it got all crazy. Okay, so now they are definitely pushing down. They're not like breaking it, but you notice here, okay, they uptick. Oof. So see how easy it ticks down? Anyways, so there's a real incentive to do it, but I think that one of the reasons why it catches so many people is because I don't think that retail traders really know what, a good consistent trader's stats really looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people have it in their head, this idea that like there's this point at which you become a profitable trader, and then ever after that, you're a profitable trader. And it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Okay. Well, I'm committed now, Ace. We'll see if it, now that I'm in, if they immediately decide they're going to turn around or if they actually decide to push this low. The treasuries, though, like they came back down to 09.5. I see some iceberging at 10. But look, they're gonna uptick there. Yeah, sure. And there was a new low. Cool.
Gary Rich says, what are you talking about?
I don't know anymore. Oh, look at that. I was talking about scammers. Yes, I was talking about scammers. There are people out there and they say, oh, like we're really profitable. But like then when you look through their stats and you'll find things like really outsized losers and things like that. So you get these guys, they come in, they start trading it, and they run into that big drawdown day and they don't know how to handle it, but they think it's them. They think, oh, it's just me because it was like one bad day and I just made a lot of really bad mistakes. I mean, I do that, right? How do you know that it's you or the strategy? Because it's really easy to go back and look at it and say, oh, I should have done this and this, and I trade it, especially when it's a really discretionary system, right? It's easy to blame yourself. Well, they did have that push down, but it recovered way too quickly. So I'm going to say...
Eric Cages says, I've been in a couple of scammy rooms back in my early days.
Yeah.
Gary Rich says there are tons of BS courses and trade rooms, dime a dozen, why bother with them?
Right. Well, at this point, I'm kind of like, I've seen a lot of rooms and I've never really heard of one that was really going to like make it for you, And maybe it exists out there, but there's so many out there that are bad that why even bother? Because I could come in and I could try and say, okay, here's why we're the best trade room, and start charging people for it and everything. But even, I was unprofitable in 2019, but let's say that I was, then I could go and I could start making that claim, right? But I would never bother doing that, because clearly the thing is not just finding
RCH
somebody
says
else is
yes,
profitable
Gary.
and copying what they're doing, right? It's a process. Trading is a process. I think that's the thing that we have to accept, is that trading is a process that never ends. And there's never going to be any one individual thing that is going to finish the process for you. Because you evolve, you get better at trading, then the market's going to get better too. And so it's a constant struggle. So Ace, did you ever get in a short there, or did it not hit the level that you wanted? Because I took one. And we got a little bit of a thing, but I didn't get enough. And now that's like now I'm seeing a hammer. I might turn around and buy it now. Like at around 41. Because that move to me looked like an exhaustion of sellers.
Air Cages says Speculator Seth has turned my trading around. For only $399 per month, I can save my money from the markets by distracting myself with wholesome conversations with ringleader Seth.
That's the way to do it. I've definitely saved myself some money by distracting myself by talking to you guys. Let's see where this bar ends. If this bar ends right here, around 2240, that could be a very strong bullish signal. I wouldn't pay for
anything you say. Not personal, you just don't have the years in to qualify.
Yeah, that's probably true, Gary. I agree with you. We've been doing this now for like 2 or 3 years. It's not long enough. I mean, like, that's the other thing. If I was going to spend like $5,000 a month, I would definitely have to be somebody that's been doing it for
Speculator
decades.
Seth, because he knows how to spend your money better than you do.
Oh, man. Well, that's what I was trying to go for with my introduction to futures. I was like, oh, so you want to trade futures? Okay. Well, you could just give that money to me, and I would probably lose it better than you would. But if you really want to do it yourself, because that's always been my thing, is like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty break even / lose right now. I'm getting better still. I've gone from like really wild
Gary
trading
Rich
to
says,
like
Seth, you do have a lot of upside potential. Seriously.
Oh, thank you, Gary. And you guys keep saying, "Oh, this is the year that you're gonna break out," and I'm like, why do you believe in me so? Are you just telling me that to make me? I don't know. But I've gotten better, right? Now I do pretty good every day, and then every once in a while I have a really bad day that wipes it out. So we're getting closer. We need to realize when we're having those days and eliminate them, and change our strategy to eliminate them. And I have some ideas about how to do that. But yeah. I forgot where I was going. You interrupted my thought process. Anyways. Yeah. But even then, I mean, there's lots of people that have been trading forever. Like, this is a problem. Say you were profitable. Like, there's this one educator out there. He's like, we totally have like a full year's worth of profits to show you, like broker statement and everything. And he shows it to you. And it was 2008. And I was like, well, anybody could have made money in 2008. They were trading. That was the best year for trading ever.
JB says you were busy bashing all the trade rooms out there.
Yeah. So here's my buy now, right?
JB says hurt my feelings a bit.
Oh, you know what? I thought that JB's room was good.
Air Cages says if you want to break even on your trading, join my $399 trading room. Break even. Nothing more, nothing less. Come join Break-Even Trader now.
I still kind of feel like I would never pay for a room, but I have learned so much from JB here. Really, he's helped me a lot. So, but that's just where I'm getting like, even I think the main reason why I say like trading room is not worth it is because people think that it's a solution to their problems, and it's not. That's the real issue, because
JB says you didn't pay for my room?
I don't think I ever did. No, I never did. Well, I mean, I kind of did because I made stuff for you, right? So what happened was I wanted to try this room out because it was like the only one that out there that was like about bonds. So I tried the free trial and I started talking to him and I show him some of the stuff and he was interested. So then I programmed some stuff for him and he let me stick around for that.
Isn't JB charging $5K? Am I the only one paying this?
No, it was a couple hundred though.
JB says it was just a place to collaborate.
It kind of was just a place to collaborate. And he had shown me enough that I knew that he was making money at the time. My understanding with JB is that he's
JB says lol.
He's kind of more of a swing trader though, and he's been doing pretty okay for a while, but he's had trouble with bonds lately too. So, it's like I said, it's a process, right?
Ace Trade says if it comes back down, I'm going to get a short at 3,240 something.
Okay.
Air Cages says wait, who is JB?
JB, John Bottomley, is what that stands for. And the room is GPI trading. You still do it, right, JB? Or do you not do it anymore? JB says it was
$75 a month, and you got a 10% discount for taking it for 3 months.
Ah, that's right. You're right. It was $75. And that's the other thing is like, what's so I should be careful like what I say, because there's obviously no like catch-all for anything, right? Okay, so like Futures Trader 71, he has a room now basically that you pay like what, $50 a month for.
JB says no, I'm not running the room anymore.
Oh, okay. JB was actually telling me about a friend of his that was in that room but kind of had a negative experience, but I would still say he's a good guy.
JB says I'm enjoying my freedom.
That's great. I think Futures Trader 71 is a great
Ace
guy.
Trade says 3,240.25 short signal if it comes down.
Okay. Well, that's kind of weird. I'm waiting for a pullback here. In fact, I'm wondering if the E-mini is just going to go too far. I have a bunch of thoughts here. Anyways.
Air Cages says JB, I'm not going to pay no less than $399. This trading money isn't going to burn itself.
There are some rooms out there that are maybe worth the money that you pay, but it's not going to make you a profitable trader, 1. And 2, don't be spending hundreds of dollars. Okay. That's what I should really be saying. And those are things that I can say like are for certain, right? So I'm looking at this JB in the E-mini. And I see here inside bar at the bottom of a relatively strong downtrend, hammer up green bar that closed above the inside bar. And this move down here was without question, when I was watching the tape, exhaustion of sellers.
JB says that was the idea behind our room, to have an open mic and share ideas.
Yeah. And it was a good room. I miss some of those guys that were in there, but are they still around, all of them? I remember there was Opie. He was interesting to listen to. And there was another guy, Bill.
JB says problem was most people were too shy to use the mic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Air Cages says everyone knows the more expensive room the better it is. $75 is telling me it's not very good. I'm prepared to pay $5K for legit hot stock picks.
Bill, he would only take like 2 ticks in ZP, and that was all he did on in momentum.
Gary Rich
and that
says just join
like
a prop firm. They will give you structure. It's an investment in your education.
If there was still really real prop firms in the United States, there's like one firm now, right? So I don't think that Ace ever got his 40-25. Oh, no, maybe we did.
Air Cages says prop firms died 15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, that tells you something. I think that the unsavory truth about trading is that back in the day, a really good portion of those consistently profitable traders were coming from pure market making.
Gary Rich says at Air Cages, I have a crap ton of stocks to give you for free. ROFL.
Pure market making methods that
Air Cages
the
says unless you
robots took
consider
over.
Top Step Trader a prop firm, which it totally is by the way.
Yeah,
Ace
I
Trade
guess.
says yeah I am in.
Okay. Yeah, it touched 20, 22, 40, 25. Like, I'm going to wait. I think that we should get a little bit of a short here, and then it should turn. But it might not, because it's starting to get too close to the open.
Ace Trade says wish I wasn't.
Yeah. Wish I wasn't. Well, it hasn't given
Gary
you a
Rich
favorable
says no, there are
ticket,
prop
has it?
firms for retail, not what you think. Air Cages says the robot killed the John Grady's of the world.
Exactly. So there's edge out there, but it's significantly less because of the robots. And from all of the things that I've been told from people that are in the know on these sorts of things.
JB
Let me
says
rephrase
market
that.
making, meaning being able to actually see the orders sitting in the book.
Well, not just that, JB, but like literally taking a tick based off of being the first one to hit into the price as it goes, essentially. Like they were doing this thing where, like, you know, when it tick up, they would put a buy order there so that if it moved up and came back, they would be the first in the queue, that sort
Air
of a thing.
Cages says beep boop beep bop beep robot love money bag.
Alligators and that sort of stuff. The stuff that you really having a fast connection to the exchange and everything makes a big difference. The stuff that you literally just cannot compete with the robots on. You know? Like if we're in a 2-tick range in the ZB, you're not going to try and get one, because you're never going to get filled on the other side, and it's random if you do. Whereas the robots, they're the first person on the inside of the queue. Heck yeah, they'd take that one. So that means that the very lowest, you know, you're going to have like basically, how can I draw this? You know, you're going to have
JB says when you talk to the guys that were on the floor, they could stand in front of the traders for a large bank and hear what they were buying or selling.
Oh yeah.
JB says that's what allowed them to front run the orders. Gary Rich says what are you talking about? None of us can scalp one tick trades, that's dumb to think.
Yeah, exactly.
Air Cages says if you want good fills you need a server next to the exchange with microwave internet connection.
So these were the people where their time frame was like a second, right? 5 minutes. 30. 30 to an hour. 30 to 60. You know, maybe maximum 4 hours, day, week, month, right? So what happened was the robots came along and they basically wiped out all of this. Like as a retail trader, not worth it. Not worth it. So now it's most of us, we're trading in this range, right? Where we're taking trades that are anywhere from 5 minutes to a couple of hours. And the higher up on this scale that you're going to go, the easier it is going to be profitable, because the noise is going to matter less to you. But the higher up on this you want to be, the more money you have to start doing it too. So we end up down in here because we don't have a ton of money. But you learn and you become good at trading that way. That's kind of how I look at it.
JB says you're not showing what you're talking about. Stay. Gary Rich says that's algo stuff, not retail. Retail never could compete with algos.
Yeah.
JB says Seth. Air Cages
Is a
says Seth
robot.
is a robot.
So I wish that I could swing trade. Frankly, I wish that I was I trade because John, he'll come in and he'll take trade before we're even up, and he'll do something in the treasuries and then just hold it all day. And like I really want to do this. I would really like to catch a whole point in the treasuries. That would be amazing. But for me, because I'm limited to 2-hour time frame and all of this and that, it's not feasible for me at this time. So I'm trying to catch more like 5 minutes.
Ace Trade says 1 point finally.
Good job.
Air Cages says your OBS is malfunctioning. You're a talking ZN chart.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I moved it over there. So I drew a picture and you didn't see it. That's what you guys were saying. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I drew a thing like this and I said this is like less than a minute, this is 5 minutes, and this is 30, And the robots,
Gary
they
Rich
wipe
says why
that all
can't you
out.
swing or scalp the 2 years or 5 years? It moves fast.
Well, the primary issue that I have with swinging is that I'm only around for 2 hours. Yeah. So it would have to be a trade that like I take at 6:30 and hold for 2 hours, and I have not found that trade. If you have ideas, let me know. But then I would, that's the sort of a thing where like if I was going to stay in a trade for that long, like seriously, some of these trades I'm like 1 tick, 2 ticks risk, right?
JB says lol, what part of you're not showing what you're talking about? Did you not understand?
It did not register at all. I was like, okay, JB. I thought you meant you were talking about my trading, not the picture I was drawing. Oh man, that's funny. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Not an idiot. What's the right word? It's just what I'm saying with ADHD, man. Like you're dealing with people with ADHD. That's
JB
the first
says
thing.
him.
They're gonna see things that everybody else misses, but then they're gonna miss things that everybody else catches, and they're gonna see things that just aren't there. Because the ability to control your attention is just not there. Significantly less than normal people. Well, I don't know, Uzi. That seemed like that they had that reverse, well, that pullback, and then they did try buying it up a little bit, but the buying above 10.5 was super weak too. Some iceberging and stuff, but overall it just kind of went nowhere. So we could wait for the E-mini to open. We're thinking though that maybe, well, we're gonna have the flip here, right? So it might not matter, but we could see the E-mini flip around and go higher.
Uzi Knesset says bouncing around value.
Yeah. Zero Hedge I haven't seen anything in my swacks for over an hour. Really? I need to reload that page and just make sure. Yes.
Uzi Knesset says being boring, but there are small plays in there with minimal risk.
Yeah.
Lucas says y'all talking about how retail traders don't exist anymore and how robots killed the profession, meanwhile Ace consistently making money. LMAO.
Well, I didn't say retail traders don't exist anymore. Just like what I would consider pure scalpers.
Ace Trade says 2 points, multi-lots take profit, lock in for the open.
And certainly not in the treasuries. You could maybe pure scalp in the E-mini. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were taking 2 ticks, 1 to 2 ticks in the E-mini, like literally 1 to 2 ticks in the E-mini, and he was hitting almost 80% win rate. And it wasn't like he was taking outsized risk to do that either. It was
Gary Rich
2
says
tick
I
profit,
heard a
2
rumor.
tick stop.
Did Drudge sell his site?
No way, really?
Ace Trade says out, never got to.
Interesting. They came back up fast, didn't it? But what's with this in the treasuries? It came back up fast. There wasn't a whole lot of activity on it, though. I was curious. When you watch it on a... Oh, that's the one range. I was going to say, when you watch it on the volume chart, it's kind of interesting. I guess you do get a good idea of where they're interested and where they're not. But you see a similar thing on the minute chart, so... Like they came up there and now they're going short again. And where are we in the ES? They made a lower. They made a higher low and they're doing a hammer just in front of the open. If it wasn't so close to the open, I would take that. I think.
Ace Trade says long signal at my short, but too close to open.
So I think we could wait until at what point did it become okay? So around 44.
Smash the Bid says at ACE Trades you just playing LVN failures?
We've all wondered, Smash the Bid. I don't think yeah. Every time we ask him, is it this? Is it this? Is it? He never answers. So I don't think that that's gonna help. But it certainly has something to do with like the one thing that I can say is that we'll be here and he'll say, okay, I'm going short here. So it's something. So it's trading a failure of some
Ace
sort.
Trade says it Smash the Bid LVN?
He means like a low volume node in the profile. Like he's saying if we got above 10 half that you buy it.
Smash the Bid says low volume node. JB says he's getting the calls from that room he's paying $5,000 for.
No, guys, listen, he's told us how he does it, right? He has a guy at the CME, gives him a text message, tells him exactly which price to go in it. 5 minutes to the open. I'm like ready for this to move. It's Tuesday, like I don't know. They might wait for Wednesday to have to really move, but I feel like that they're gonna make some decisions today. Could be higher, could be lower.
Uzi Knesset says I dunno what y'all do but I consult a bog witch. Her calls are great. Ace Trade says it Smash the Bid yes, that is us. Low volume node. I use it with the VWAP and the Woody indicator and the Quimichasia indicator.
Wait, is that those real things or is that the joke? Woody indicator? That's got to be a joke. Whoa, wait. It is a thing. Woody's CCI is a momentum indicator that was developed by Ken Woods.
Uzi Knesset says the Woody is lol. Ace Trade says it Uzi Knesset I need a bog witch.
But the Quimmy
IQ says in an orange indicator.
Not.
JB says Woody's CCI.
Woody's CCI. CCI
Ace Trade says 3 of those things are things.
3 of those things are things. I'll have to look at the Woody, but is it the Woody different from just the CCI? I used to have that CCI up on the chart, and then that was one of those things that I
JB
got rid
says
of.
exactly. Gary Rich says Woody pivots. Oh crap, that's old school.
Well, I have to look into that. So maybe he's not joking. I don't know. I'm not so sure that the treasuries are ready to just buy up here. I think that there could be a slow, just like yesterday. You know, the E-mini comes out, they buy up the E-mini, and then they just like slowly give it up. Okay, so there was some interesting behavior right there.
Ace Trade says nothing like old wood. Don't use the new wood, no one like the new wood. Also, I'm kidding, I don't use the woody, but I do make fun of it.
Oh, okay. Oh man. I used to find the CCI.
JB says I think you have a copy of the Woody's CCI in that version of NT8 you're using.
Yeah, I have like the one that's like the adaptive CCI, right? It was useful, but it was one of those things that was like I didn't never actually used it, and they took it off and just kind of forgot about it that I even had it. That's happened with a lot of things. Or change the workspace, trying to look at something
JB
new and you
says
forget
no?
the other stuff. And maybe there's some edge in it right now, but I stopped looking at it. So I'm noticing that in the 10-year, I'm not seeing a spike. And I would normally see a spike before the open. So that suggests to me that people took the short and then exited. And they never got in new positions.
Ace Trade says we have two pieces of accurate, actual data, price and volume. Everything else is lagging.
Yeah.
JB says the Woody's version has a number of moving averages and scales that are supposed to suck people into buying it from Woody.
So if I'm understanding, Ace is saying that he bases his completely off of price.
IQ says it was the magic sauce for $300 per month from a 100 years old frontrunning from London. Ace Trade says it. JB, did you say suck and Woody in the same sentence?
Okay,
Well done, well done.
Oh, Ace, so funny. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says grinning squinting face.
Okay, so there's a little bit of hesitancy, but it
Lucas, who
looks like
says
they're
hi, how
selling
long
it.
have you been trading?
Lucas, how long have you been trading? Good question. I've been trading about 3 years now. Since October. Still working it out. I have good times and bad times.
Smash the Bid says lol, you make fun, but all your trades have that in common. With a name like Ace Trades, I would expect you to use VWAP and Woody's. JB says he was taken to court years ago for front running his followers. He operated a room that had a couple of thousand followers at its peak.
Really?
Gary Rich says the suckers long crude get toasted. I'm milking this short tit.
Man, Gary, you just are you swinging it or have you been
Ace
scalping
Trade
it back
says
and
it.
forth?
Smash the Bid. Nope. Uzi Knesset says lol.
They selling it, but look, the treasuries aren't moving up.
Uzi Knesset says I like Gary, haha.
Gary has made some good contributions, hasn't he? I'm sure that if we were all trading oil that we would be worshiping him like a god.
Gary
right
Rich
now,
says I've been in this for 55 minutes.
He's shown us some pretty impressive trades in oil. Told us about some impressive, like every time that it's like moving, it'll be like, oh, yep, I'm just riding this one for all it's worth.
Lucas, who says what broker are you trading?
I am using AMP. I use
Ace
Jigsaw
Trade says
and
my
Ninja
significant
Trade.
other hates that I go by the name Ace. She says it's a porn name from the 80s.
Really? That's so funny. Man.
Uzi Knesset says Ace Jackhammer.
There we go.
Gary Rich says at Ace lol lol.
That's so funny, man. Now I'm gonna go. We can go and make a special transition just for him. That'll have like porno music or something and a little logo. Ace is here. Well, they're selling it. I'm not too impressed with the sellers. I feel like that if we get to here, can I do it? I'll do it like with
Lucas, who says, are you full-time trader?
No, I'm not. This is just a hobby.
Ace Trade says Ace Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I'm not here making some claim about profitability or like, hey, trade the way that I am. This is kind of, just a great way to like make friends and share information and stuff. It's kind of more. So there's lots of people trying to sell things, and from my perspective, nobody's profitable forever. It could be profitable this year and not profitable the next year, and so I think it's dishonest to be, making some sort of huge campaign off of that. But the thing that we do that's unique
says,
is
JB, what's your magic sauce saying for ZB?
We're trading treasuries and
Lucas, who says, can you share info about brokers?
So Lucas, what are you looking for?
JB says Ace, an expert in a given field. Ace Trade says at Lucas, who he is a full-time trader, he just has a bad habit where he goes to work for the man for 8 hours a day.
So, like, do you know which software you want to use, Lucas? So I would always pick your software first. Okay. Well, that's not quite how I wanted that to go. But let's see if it works out. Okay.
Lucas, who says micro index.
You want to trade the micro index. Okay. But do you know like software or anything like that? Or have you purchased any software yet? That's probably a better question.
Ace Trade says at Lucas, who all I have ever used is AMP and Sierra Chart. They seem to treat me well.
Yeah. So if you haven't used software or you haven't picked,
Lucas, who says no. Okay. Ace Trade says didn't spell Sierra right.
So the cheapest option that is going to give you like everything that you'd want, a usable DOM, volume profile, all that, Sierra Charts. It's like a monthly fee though. All right. So Sierra Charts is really good. I use Jigsaw. This is like $1,000.
Yep, I still have a long bias for my ZB trades.
With NinjaTrader, I think they give you a license if you use their brokerage, right? Or do you have to pay for the platform? I don't know how that works. But NinjaTrader is one to look at. In fact, I would say if you haven't started anything, the first thing that I would do is go and get a NinjaTrader demo and try that and see how that goes. But Sierra Charts is a good one. And then if you're looking for the cheapest commissions, it's almost always going to be AMP futures. AMP is really good.
Ace Trade says Sierra. JB says by that I only mean I seem to take more long trades than short trades in a ZB.
I maybe should have just taken that 10. But let's see how this goes. Another broker that I'm friends with is Optimus Futures. So I talked to Matt Z from Optimus on a regular basis. He's going to be a little bit more on commissions, but they have like really good support. So like if you need to call somebody because you're having a platform
says
issue.
Not sure it's a bias so much as it is a net result.
You're going to get somebody that really knows what they're talking about and is going to babysit you until you feel comfortable. And that's the advantage with Optimus. And they, you can use any platform with them, but they're coming out with a new platform. It's based off of, I forget what the name of the other platform is. Well, we showed it off on stream a couple of days ago. And when they like fully release it, I'll make like maybe a bigger video about it. But it's a pretty cool platform, especially if you're going to trade like longer time frames. which, I don't know how you want to trade the micros, but so maybe that's give you some ideas about where to look. I have a video here on this channel, which is like getting started with futures. And I would go and watch that because I go through like all of the different brokers and what some of the advantages of them are and the major software packages that are out there and all that stuff. Would be and like education resources that are free and stuff. So like you watch that video, you're like pretty well acquainted with the community and should be able to for most things figure it out on your own. But yeah. It's a big world and there's not a lot of guidance out there when you don't know anything. Okay, well, it doesn't like that. I'd say I like the long side still, but they did not it was not too inspiring, was it? Okay. So like notice the uptick in pace when they're coming down here. Okay. Treasury's ticked up there. Yeah. I think I have a problem here in the E-mini where beyond the 2 ticks, I'm not necessarily always sure what I'm looking for. It looks though like the sellers have it there. And that takes everything negative. I still have a long bias for my ZB trades. By that I seem to take more long trades than short trades in ZB. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's easier to trade it when it's moving up.
Ace Trade says almost took a short at 39.50, but it is too close to open. Stupid rule-based trading.
Yeah, let's see here in like 5 minutes where it's at. I want to see like another swing up. I kind of thought, after I got stopped out that they were getting a little too excited.
Air Cages says, should I buy 1,000 shares of Tesla?
But we shall see.
Lucas says yes.
Tesla. Are they
Ace
still
Trade
big
says at Air
down?
Cages, no, make it 5,000. SpaceX isn't going to fund itself.
Oh man.
Ace Trade says at Lucas Morning. Lucas says howdy Ace.
Well, I didn't see exhaustion there on the bottom, but it does look like they might turn.
Lucas says I am following your trades from the shadows.
It does look like they're going to give us a hammer.
Lucas who says are you scalper?
Yeah, I would say that I scalp.
Ace Trade says at Lucas, did you catch any of that before the open?
It depends on what your definition of scalping is, but
Uzi Knesset says will out big guy at 05 get his fill? Grinning face with big eyes.
yeah. Well, I can see here in the 10-year there was a little bit of a spike and it's died down. So I think that they've found a node here at 11 for now. We'll see if they
Air
push
Cages
up again
says
or
Seth
not.
is Tesla's biggest whale investor.
No, I wish. I think if I buy, I'm really, if I buy another stock, I want it to be in nuclear. I think that's what I'm really interested in. I'm still, I'll do research on it. I still haven't found
Uzi
a company that
Knesset
I
says I
really,
hope
really
so.
like.
Holding these 400 contracts is kinda scary face with tongue. Lucas says at ACE trades I did. Got out sooner though, but good trade. Ace Trades says at Lucas nice.
Well, based on the levels that they've broken, I feel like that they could continue moving down quite a bit. But I don't know. So far, they're still a little. Okay, so that one's better. You kind of see how, like, at 23, 34, there's a lot of absorption and craziness going on right there. Seeing they get above it.
Lucas who says can you explain indicators on your chart please?
Sure. So I have these on these charts, you mean? So I have something that will just tell me how big each swing is. That kind of gives me an idea of what might be available for trade. But these histograms here are telling me level 2 activity. So I can see that when we were down here, there was a lot of level 2 activity. And of course, it burned out and went higher. Maybe could have taken that one, but it was like close to the open. Right? And then this thing down at the bottom
Air
is
Cages
cumulative
says
delta.
Seth your cough is not very manly I'm sorry to say. I'm very very sorry to say.
So this is like all market buys minus all market sells. So you can see they bought it. The treasury is up pretty hard there.
Lucas says at UZI Knesset there's the big guy cousin at 142. Uzi Knesset says oh you looking at ZN lol.
Yeah, that was in ZN. Okay, there was another exhaustion there. Curious. I guess we should just be selling it. It's kind of hard to buy it now. Maybe if they got back up to 37, but yeah, look at that. Some clickiness there. So they're going across 11.5, I guess. Where is this compared to yesterday? Okay.
Gary Rich says I hate when I don't follow my rules.
Oh, Gary, did you get did Hubris catch you a little bit there? So this area right here, 2232, was
Lucas says solution is to not have rules clearly.
Oh man.
Gary Rich says could have locked in 35 cents but only got 15 cents. I'm so retarded. Lucas who says what do you think about Top Step Trader?
So, if you're just beginning, I would say that Top Step is probably not a good option for you. I mean, you can do it, and trading with the
Gary Rich
rules
says my
and
signal said reversal.
setting up their platform and everything is certainly a useful thing, but the chances
Ace
of you
Trade says that
passing the
Lucas, yeah,
combine,
I agree. I'm kicking myself, 5 points I missed out on with more to come, I'm sure.
if you're just starting out trading, the chances of you passing the combine are like nil. So I would say it's a much better idea to just save that money up and put it towards funding an account and trading micros. I have a video. I was going to make a new video on that, but I have a video about it where I kind of go over my own experiences with it. Hmm. Well, I thought, maybe around 7:45 that I would take another trade and go short, but I'm not really given a good spot. The treasuries are holding there. 5-year didn't make new high yet.
Gary Rich says alright, need to kick the dog, just kidding. I'm retarded. Lucas who says what is minimum deposit do I need to open micro account, what do you think greater than?
So it might have changed, but it used to be 500 bucks.
Ace Trade says long signal at 3224.00.
I think that they've reduced it now that there are micros, though. For AMP, it'll be somewhere on their website. It'll say what the minimum deposit is.
Ace Trade says 3234.00 long signal.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it with you. I was looking for a little bit higher, but okay. This is kind of a little bit counter trend, though. Nope. Nope. Not going so hot today, but I'm taking longs, right? This doesn't make sense.
Ace Trade says that was a fail, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I'm looking at 36.
Lucas says it almost went.
Yeah,
Uzi
it was
Knesset
kind
says
of.
whoopsie doopsie.
It was like as soon as we got in, they fighting it.
Lucas says they fought it, lol.
Yep. But I mean, look, they're back there. It still looks to me like they might turn up.
Gary Rich says I'm trying to buy some bling bling teeth for my border collie, she needs Rapper's gold teeth. Ace Trade says now it goes, jerks.
Yeah, right.
Lucas who says why only I liked your stream?
What? Wait, what? Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Today's not been the best day, though. Yeah.
Miguel Zapata says hi, good morning from Costa Rica.
Oh, good morning. You know, we've had a couple of people from South America.
Lucas says buenos dias.
Oh, man.
Lucas says El Robot habla español? Lucas who says 22 watching and only 2 likes.
I think that there are Spanish voices. I could go back
Miguel
and add
Zapata says very interesting.
them. Give it a Spanish accent or you speak real
Lucas
Spanish.
says she does.
Yeah.
Miguel Zapata says okay.
All right, well. Just wait. I don't know
Miguel
why I'm
Zapata says
taking
so what
longer.
instrument do you trade? Gary
Well,
Rich says I can't figure a good way to trade 10 years. I have a perfect record 0 for 24 over 8 months. One day I might figure it out.
Well, lately we've been doing a lot of the micros. That didn't work out so well today, though. They're just selling it. Look at that. Yeah, they came short.
Lucas who says what is your daily loss limit?
So so I usually will take, like, if I have 3 bad trades in a row, then I'll stop. Or I'll switch over to Sim.
Craig Ballin says lol. I just thumbs up it at Lucas who.
Yeah, it really helps when you guys hit that thumbs up button. Because the video will get posted afterwards, and the more likes that you get, the more likely it is to show it to other people. So I appreciate it. It's totally up to you, of course. I have to deserve it, but I appreciate it when you guys give me those. Hey, man, is it gonna go now? I'd be so mad if it, like, now it goes up. I mean, it sure looks like, I don't know, man. I'm torn because we should be looking for shorts, right? We're down on the day and we're down on the hour. But it was giving me
Air
like
Cages
some long
says, guys,
stuff.
don't forget to dislike and report this video.
Air Cages is trying really hard today. Man. And I mean, the treasuries came back.
Gary Rich says lol.
It seems like the activity level in the E-mini has decreased.
Lucas says they came back but wait for the news.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Air Cages says I'm reporting this video for cyber terrorism.
For what?
Lucas who says can you make game for us if we win, we will trade for you.
Can you make game for us? What do you mean? That sounds like that was probably a bad translation. Hmm. So let's look at what we're looking at for the news again. ISM non-manufacturing PMI looking for a reading of 54.5 versus a previous reading of 53.9. Historically, it's been closer to better readings are in the 60s. This reading hasn't gone negative for a long time. Not since 2009, really.
Air Cages says let's play a game. Heads or tails, you go short or long.
I wish that YouTube had like the games and stuff that Twitch did so that we could have like votes and stuff. That'd be fun. I mean, we could build it into the bot, I guess, but hmm. 54.5. 54.5. See some shorts exiting here.
IQ says they pulling on both sides. ZB. Lucas who says let's VOT.
Man. Okay. So that was definitely the shorts getting out. Okay, here comes the news.
Uzi Knesset says 16 stacking on the bid in ZB. Gary Rich says Seth sounds like he has croupy cough, needs to gargle with bleach.
Yeah,
Let's
I do,
send him a
man.
gross of cough drops.
It's been rough. I think I have like walking pneumonia. Like it's in my chest. Oh, come on. Don't be like that, meanie. 55. So it was a good number.
Uzi Knesset says looks like 05 bro dropped into that news.
$55 versus 54.5. It was expected.
IQ says there was some nice ticks for short side.
Yeah, but like, look, we're getting this thing where like everybody went long and now they're pulling back, right? So tactically that didn't work because I didn't get enough extension on it. Okay. Well, look at the treasuries come down. Wow.
Miguel Zapata says I just long on Nasdaq at 8,859.50. Lucas who says how big is your account that you trading?
Very, very small. Less than 500. I have some money saved up. I could put more in it, but I've been waiting because I think I might need to use that for other things. Hmm. See, they're buying it. They're having a hard time getting above my price. I've just been picking the worst spots today, haven't I? It sucks. Like in treasuries, when I
Miguel
catch it, I
Zapata
catch
says
it.
just take the money and run. Just close the trade.
But maybe these sellers today don't care.
Lakasu
38.
says do you use leverage?
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's futures, so it's always leveraged, right? But it's basically $1 per tick. So like that right there was $10. Now they do it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, well, I gave me a favorable tick, so there's that, which is nice. Yeah. It may just be the case that it's just too volatile at the moment for me to really be trading it. Okay. Yeah, you see all that.
Lakasu says how did you make last month?
December was so rough on me, man. I was doing
Uzi
great.
Knesset says M16 is getting fat.
So I did great in October. I did okay in November, and then December just came and destroyed me. So that's kind of where I'm going. Like, yeah, you can do well, and then you can not do well. And I think that, especially on the treasuries, there's a lot of adjustments that I need to make to how I'm doing things.
Miguel Zapata
The
says
E-mini,
get another long trade at 8,866.50.
The E-mini, I'm not really as familiar with. And so you can tell, like, I'm getting like terrible spots and this sort of a thing. You know, like I'm really frustrated that I picked like the middle of the range. Because watching the Dom, I would prefer to pick a spot that just they never go against you, you know? Because you could have the momentum right and pick a bad spot and still get stopped out, especially with as tight of a stop as I'm using. Hmm. The treasuries still look like they could sell, though. I didn't really get a whole lot of usable signals in the treasuries today. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. That one was the E-mini open rate, so.
Lukas who says are you still learning to trade or you're a pro?
Oh, I'm totally still learning.
Air Cages says Lukas you need to send $399 in Garlicoin before you can ask trading questions in this room. Sorry, those are the rules.
Listen, it's because I kind of got the impression. I'm getting the impression that you're looking around, looking at trading rooms, and you're saying, well, I need to find somebody that's really good and learn from them and learn to trade like them, and then I can learn to trade well and be profitable. And I'm telling you, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Trading is a process, and it's not one that you can just take from somebody else. Because I could show, you could find the best trader in the world, and they could show you how to trade, and you could trade exactly their strategy, and still have it not work for you because you have a different mind and their strategy is geared towards the way that they think, you know? So trading is kind of a process that you've got to go through to investigate, determine what your trades are, and developing your edge and learning how the market works and all of that step by step. If you try and shortchange that process by, doing somebody else's thing or an education or something like that, then what's going to happen is eventually it's either not going to not work for you, or you're going to maybe it does work for you for a little while, but then the market changes. And how do you adjust to the market? And since you never develop that skill, you won't know what to do. So just remember, there's no shortcut. Well, are they going to make it above that open or not? Mm-mm.
Lucas says be careful to ever say you are pro if you ever make it, Seth.
Yep. I don't think I'd ever say that. I might say, well, I do trade full time, but I would never call myself a pro. Hmm.
Lucas says just cause you might get charged pro feeds from your broker.
Oh, yeah.
Air Cages says the only shortcut is paying $399 for 5 easy SETPs to profitability that market makers don't want you to know.
Air Cages is really on the trying to get people to pay for a monthly fee today. You short on money, Air Cages? Are you trying to start something for me? This is what's going to happen is somebody's going to be like, oh, I'm all in on it. And then he'll come to me and be like, all right, I got this guy. They're willing to pay for the secret private room. We'll split the profits or something. And I can tell what scam you're playing here.
Lucas who says are you student?
Everybody is a student, I say. But me particularly. Let me put it this way. The guys that you're chatting with there in chat
Lucas says
are
I've
better
read threads
traders
about
than
traders
me.
who had something about being pro traders in their LinkedIn accounts. Their brokers got noticed of that and charged them pro feeds.
Really? I thought that they only got charged pro if you were like in a prop firm. That's interesting. Hmm.
Lucas says no kidding, no, that's a status you get if you manage OPM.
If you manage OPM. So 29, 32, 38.
Air Cages says Seth I know you want the $399.
That'd be great. 38 is about where this hourly candle turns green, and that's why they're fighting it so hard there. So if they get above that price, then you're going to start seeing a lot of short stopping out. The cumulative delta has just been nothing but long here, but they're not making any progress on price. Hmm. Yeah, you can see when they move
Lucas
up, it's
says
kind
so
of
just
a
say you
little...
are retail lol.
Yeah, I'm retail. I'm a beginner. All I am is just some guy that's dumb enough to stream it. That's all I am. That's all I am. Nothing special about me other than that. And I appreciate you guys that say, "Oh, you have a lot of potential. This is your breakout year, Seth." I appreciate that, but for the public, let's be honest with people. There's nothing special about me other than that I'm willing to stream it. Okay, now we're starting to see a little bit of progress. They're kind of clearing out those offers. And some absorption there. I don't know. There's a downtick there in the E-mini. That's
Craig
potentially
Balance says a great
shortable.
way to hold yourself accountable. Eric Cages says Seth has the best live stream intro. That's pretty special in my book. Gary Rich says I'm a professional retard with expertise in dumbass.
Oh, there you go. There you go. This right here in the no. Yeah, you could short this.
Lacoste who says where do you work?
You could short this in the 10-year. I work for a healthcare exchange. We do programming, essentially. Right now, I'm working on insights, which is like alerts to tell you if the servers are down and that sort of data stuff. Jerry is awake, lol. You're not talking about my bird. My bird's name is Jerry. Is you making a name for that because you can hear the bird? Oh man. Oh, they're gonna do it. I mean, they're above 38 now. The candle is green. I didn't see the stops. I mean, there's some volume there, but...
Lacoste who says do you know Python?
Yeah, sure. Python's not my favorite language, but I've definitely done stuff in Python. For trading, most of what I do is in C# because NinjaTrader 8 just has such a great platform for programming. Well, they're still tepid, I guess maybe because we've got that open and everything. It's funny how when you lose, it can be so
who
fast.
Says, can you build algo on Pine?
Oh, I mean, you absolutely can, but the problem with Python is that you have to build like all of the infrastructure and stuff, right? Like you have to be able to connect to the service and make all the stuff to send the orders and all that sort of stuff. And then you'd have to make your own thing to back test it. Whereas with C# and NinjaTrader, all that stuff has been built for you. All you have to do is build your strategy.
JB says Ace wishes he had a Python Woody.
Wait, is that Ace that changed his name to Jerry is Awake? That seems like something you would do. It's either, I'm guessing it's either Ace or it's Harlequin. But that's my guess. So I'm still kind of seeing some evidence in the tape of buying. But there's fairly deep absorption on both sides of this. See, like they're not that bid at 32, 38, 50. There's 992. Now he's going to buy back through it. It takes 800, huh? Somebody's playing defense here, I think. There was a little bit of a hit there. Come on, let's get this above
Jerry
the
is
open.
awake says that name came after divorce lol.
That name came after divorce?
Lakas who says how many trade you have done so far?
6. 6. I have a tendency to overtrade. I would only like to have like 3 for the day. I don't know. This one looks like it's turning out. I'd still like to see it above the open. This could come back on us awfully quickly, you know? It's 818. Interesting. Canadian PMI random number generator, October 48 spot 2, November 60, December 51 spot 9. Did the treasuries just take a big step down there? Yes, they did. I'd say that short at 09.5 was good, but I didn't get it. I didn't get like a signal from the signal that I like. I just saw that the stacking at 10 and it just sitting there and it pivoting and everything. Lack of interest really. So if anything, it's a counter signal. But hey, it's good for 3. I'd take it.
Gary Rich says options are so boring. Now, I'm watching WATL Axe Throwing League.
Huh. Options are boring? I've never been able to have the data to really watch options the way that I'd like. It's always 10 minutes delayed.
Lakas who says how much do you risk per trade?
So we've been risking 2 points. Depends. Sometimes, when I do it with ace, we're only risking like 3 ticks. But this one is 8, right? Now that said, sellers are trying hard in this area.
Gary Rich says yes, I can't find any new selling to do. Having trouble getting fills.
That makes sense. Okay. 38 is really starting to have some volume traded at it. I guess we got to get to 39.50. So basically, we got to get to the open to make this hourly candle green. Oh, it's pushing. Come on, come on. Okay.
Jerry is awake says I am a grasshopper. I have patience so I keep telling myself.
So I keep telling myself, "Oh, you sure got to be patient today." I mean, it's. I don't like sitting in a trade for the E-mini this long, man. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been almost 20 minutes now. 20 minutes and you made 2 points. That's not particularly encouraging, is it? I'd say, though, the ES is still trading a decent amount of volume, isn't it? It's like this whole area right here, there's a lot of interest in trading it. Hmm. Okay. Back up to where we were. Maybe we'll test the other end again. Looks kind of iffy to me. Yeah.
Gary Rich says something doesn't seem right. Everything is slowing down really slow. I don't like this.
Well, that right there, very discouraging. The thing, though, Gary, is that there was a lot of volume in the E-mini. Yeah, but that's okay. That right there was the end of that. All right. Well, we couldn't get one today, unfortunately. I suppose I could turn around and sell it now. But it's 8:26. I think I'm better off just like licking my wounds. Interestingly, the maximum MFE I ever got in on any of these was 9. So yeah, Edge not so great in ES still. I saw some good setups, but now the way that it turned back down didn't really give me anything either. That's interesting. Maybe it did on a 1600 tick chart. These hammers. Yeah. I'm just like thinking it through, like, or did I misread anything or make any mistakes or anything like that? And I don't think I did. I took too many trades, but and it is, down.
Lucas who says please short Nasdaq.
Short Nasdaq. Mm. For all we know, this is where it's going to turn around, and then when I'm done and I leave, it'll be like up, up, up. I kind of feel. I mean, I still think that, or my read was that they reached their downside target and they were done. And then we had good news, and we could drift
Lucas
higher.
who says please short Nasdaq now.
Yeah, that downside actually showing a little bit of exhaustion.
Lucas who says and put 5 ticks stop loss.
I don't even have it up. Well, let's just see what they do. I'll be around for another, 15 minutes or so. Let's post our cryptocurrency notes. That's the wrong tab. Oops, wrong one. Look, see, now they go up. Hmm. Yeah, question is, how high can they go? Can they get up past the 42? Seeing a bit of a spike there
Gary
on that
Rich
last
says the
one.
next jobs number gonna be front loaded due holiday hirings.
Yeah. You mean on Friday? This makes me uncomfortable. Mm-mm. I definitely FOMO'd into that one, guys. So it was given a spike there, and I bought into the spike.
Gary Rich says yes.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know why I did that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm just being really flaky because I'm really disappointed that none of those turned out.
Lucas who says short Nasdaq.
Look at that. Look at that. What's going on? I don't know what to make of that. Wow. What the heck? Another long. Yeah. This one is, well, it doesn't match up with these bars over here, but it does with this. It says that it should turn higher. We'll see. There's got to be something going on, like a speech or something coming up.
Lucas, who says you have last chance to short Nasdaq.
You think so? And I don't. You can tell me to do something, and I'm probably not going to be convinced. Especially not when it shows me that. I'm maybe only looking for that, but
Lucas, who says Nasdaq.
and I'm not going to trade the Nasdaq either. It's too big. Okay. I'm not going to do it, huh?
Lucas, who says you will see.
All right. But if it doesn't, what happens if it doesn't go short? Nasdaq is fighting to turn green. The other two will go less red. Well, it's the same thing in the E-mini, isn't it? It's fighting to go green.
Gary Rich says Nas is fighting to turn green. The other two will go less red. Uzi Knesset says I want my target at 16 in ZB to get hit. Uzi Knesset says she buying stubborn though.
She's buying stubborn.
Lucas, who says I will subscribe your channel.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. That probably didn't sound too good. Hitting the microphone with my
Lucas, who
hand.
says what if Nasdaq is down?
What if then I will admit that I was wrong.
IQ says where you short from?
Hmm. That's nice. Here she comes. NASDAQ is turning. Well, I'm just seeing that right there.
Gary Rich says here she comes Nas turning.
I don't know why the reader is so slow today. 38.50. Oh, yen is doing something. Oh my. Yen is turning down.
Uzi Knesset says at IQ me, 27 grinning face with big eyes.
I think that the ES just
IQ says nice Uzi.
Too many positions in it and unwound with that weird up and down thing. Now all of the macros seems to be suggesting risk on, but E-mini is having a hard time pushing it.
Uzi Knesset says I think I'm gonna close it at market though.
And welcome back, Ace. Just kind of tepid reaching.
Ace Trade says I'm back.
They're a little too afraid to be the first one to hit into it, you know? Look, it's fighting again.
Gary Rich says Euro dropped under 112.
Well, this is interesting.
Uzi Knesset says yeah I am out at 20.
If this makes it back above the open, those shorts are going to be pissed. For now, though, it seems like they've found a comfortable place.
Uzi Knesset says I wanna see it at 16 but the juice keeps fading out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not necessarily stick around here forever, you know. Nope. He didn't hit it. No,
Gary Rich says Nas turned it shaved 15 off Dow 2 on a mini so far. Lakas who says gold went up so Nadak and SP should go down.
36.75.
Ace Trade says got a short sitting at 3,236.75.
Well, I didn't like that right there. I'm just going to take what I made and run. Oh, come on. Come on. No. Oh, so bad.
Ace Trade says so choppy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Ace. This is... Okay. Do you see this right here? Oh, you can't see it. Okay, here's the open. They sold it. Look at the cumulative delta since. It's all long. Cumulative delta's all long. What's our level 2 doing? There was the news here at 8 o'clock, right? So here was the news. News really pushed us up. Okay. And then we got this and this and this and this, right? So
CC
that's
Trader
actually...
says GM all. Uzi Knesset says I'd be willing to give a long a shot above 28 in ZB but I wouldn't give it a ton of room.
That looks like a kind of a head and shoulders kind of a pattern, except for that I don't know if it deltas. Well, I guess maybe it could. So maybe it's a head and shoulders. But I think that this was like it turned out. Longs got out. They covered. The flip happened. So this is 8:30, right? Longs came in, tried to push it up. They
CC Trader says
overextended.
long RTY from 1658.2 still holding runner.
Shorts overextended. Now we're balanced here. But we were balanced here before. So, like, I don't know. It could probably go either way. I think that the buyers probably have a slight edge on them. But it looks like there's a real battle going on. There's a real battle going on. Yen freaked out. Zian not agreeing, nor ES. And moved down into treasuries was a bit much. That one gave you an actionable signal that you could fade. NQ spiking up and down too fast to trade. Yeah, something's up. Something's up, man. Treasuries are kind of thickening up too.
CC Trader says NQ spiking up and down too fast to trade. Lucas says 5 minutes 10 years chart is a mess.
Something's up.
CC Trader says still long RTY.
That one I probably could have held it. When Ace gets a short signal, it's usually not a good idea to stay in. And he did get it, didn't he? I don't think it went very far though. What was it? 36.75 when we're back up. Yeah. This is
Gary
wax
Rich
on wax
says
off
this is wax on
liquidity.
wax off liquidity.
Tempted to buy it. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a doctor's appointment today, so we could trade until 9:30 if we wanted.
CC Trader says move stop to 61. Ace Trade says anyone else get a laggy signal on Seth?
I'm sorry. I dropped some frames. Does it make sense though? Why would it be? I don't know. I'm still not, like, we still get this every once in a while, and I don't know if it's my video card or the internet or what. Like, when I look here, no drop frames from network, only 240 due to rendering and encoding lag. So I guess that's a video card, but I don't understand why it'd be doing that, you know?
Uzi Knesset says yay.
I mean, I think this is going to pop. Darn it.
Gary Rich says Nas really fighting to hold. Here it comes, boys.
Hmm. Nine in queue, huh?
CC Trader says stop move to 62.5.
Hmm?
Uzi Knesset says earthquakes in Puerto Rico hitting too close for comfort. Neutral face.
Maybe that was why we had that little spike? I tell you what, for being that close to the open, they are sure being awfully quiet, aren't they?
Gary Rich says someone wake Trump up. He needs to get on the ball with his tweets.
Cause some real chaos, wouldn't it? Oh, there you go. That one showed me filled before I even saw anything go on the Dom.
CC Trader says flat here on RTY.
Hmm. That was a push out of nowhere. 3 ticks though, and then it's back. Yeah. Seems like sellers won that one.
Jerry is awake says waiting for breakout or surprise bar.
Okay. So aggressive. Hmm.
Lucas says what's a surprise bar?
Mm, that's a good question. Well, now they're finally taking the open. Not running or anything after they did, though. Kind
Lucas
of
says
treating it like it's no
Knesset
big deal
looks
now.
like they going for those 16. Uzi Knesset says a big bar in the opposite direction of your position, lol.
Right.
Ace Trade says at Lucas it's like a surprise baby, but more expensive. Gary Rich says a bar that makes you say holy shit.
Well,
Uzi Knesset says that'll pucker up your butthole haha.
we made this pretty big
Lucas
bar
says
here, right?
LMAO.
So if we get above 32.41, then you really got like people washed out from everything that happened during this huge outside bar. Mm. Daily limit exceeded. That's all for for the reader, unfortunately. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Man. I got a little excited there. I'm sorry. I don't see the pace or the volume indicating my 16 will get hit. It could, but I'm not seeing it yet. Oh, you're 16 in ZB. Yes. There's 1K contract sitting there, and we need to see evidence of enough sellers being able to fill that. Right. Yen started offer as soon as they said no FF, and then Bond started offer. Yes, looks like threatening to take the VWAP. Overnight VWAP? Yes. That said, it's slowed down considerably. Okay, that uptick was a little too easy. Yeah. Hmm. It's right there. 22, 40, 50. Too easy. Okay, now they're starting to accelerate a little bit. Previous closes right here. How's that NASDAQ short going? I'm wondering. I mean, after I refused to give in to that, oh, we should short it, he said, oh, I'll follow, and then he disappeared. So I'm wondering if maybe he was just testing me to see how sure I was of myself. Either that or he's embarrassed and he disappeared. Which wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like that happen, is it? There you go. Good deal. And above the outside bar. Cool. Cool. So now maybe we could start seeing a push to 47.25? Maybe? Ooh, look at that. The big order all the way up there. Wow, this is a big bar here. I don't know. I feel like pressure is definitely buying. Maybe a temporary pullback, but given how much it fought way back here, I would have expected the move above the open to have been a little bit more dramatic than that. I don't know. I guess it was reasonably. They did move up once they got past here. They came through this area pretty quickly. And seen like sweeps and volatile movement again. Excuse me. Was that a more manly cough for you? That cough made me jump. Lately, NASDAQ has led, or is it tell before turns come? Interesting. I would really like to have all of them up here on the screen, but I just don't have enough room, man. I need more screens. I just need to get different types of stands so that I can put my monitors right here between the displays and double stack them all. Except for in the middle, you'd still need place for the camera and stuff. That's another thing. You want to do 6 monitors. How do you do that with a camera? Unless you want to see the top of my head. Would it be okay if the view was like this? So that's a bit more like what I'm looking for. Maybe it could run a little bit more, though. I mean, I got 30 minutes. Might as well see what they do. I'm definitely seeing a lot of... yeah, actually, I take that back. It looks like they're excited, but... to me, it looks like they're excited, but my histograms aren't really sticking out. I guess though that's good, especially this right here says that, hey, we could go again. Lucas asking, would you go short again at 26, 27-ish? Yeah, definitely he's asking Uzi. E-mini is fighting to go green for 1 point. Well, it is green on the regular session, right? I guess it's green from the previous close as well now as well. Opening range high. 22.44.75. Oh yeah, that's right. That's when I was like, okay, and if we get above this, that's really high. Um, I'm not getting greedy. 13 points on Nas is good for now. I'm feeling greedy, man. It's just not quite to the levels that I thought it would go to. We haven't had a real pullback yet, have we, though? Okay. Mhm. Now we're trading a lot of volume again up here. 800s. And that to me, though, is a signal to get out, right? Cool. Mm-mm-mm. Nah, I think I'm +7 today. I think I'm good, but I certainly watch that area. I'm not getting greedy. Nice. I'm having a really hard time reading treasuries today. I feel like it's just chopping. The range is not that clear. Simplify your visualization to just the value area on days like this, that, and hourly ranges. My value area in ZN is 06 half to 10 half. Yes. Same here. But yeah, whatever your value area is. So what, you're looking for a drop of the value area before you're like really like excited to just be straight up short? And otherwise you're fading those ranges? I have to say, it does sure looks to me like they're just oh, hold on a second. That's weird. What was this? Oh, that was the news. Okay, cool. I was looking at this is like there's a big bowl and then a big stack. What's that? That's the news. You can really see it here on this outside one. But see this right here? Big down. Yeah, okay. Lots of excitement. It reversed up immediately. Still high. And look at your, yeah, I guess around here would be an okay short. Well, we haven't taken any on the treasuries today. Maybe if we can get that right there. It does look like the E-mini is going to do a pullback finally. Daily candle is a nice doji, and ZB stands to reason. Play the range. The small time frames are an absolute mess, so simplify the visualization to just a value area. Your volume profile looks more clunky than mine. I'm noticing having it that way makes value areas more clear. Oh, more chunky. Yeah, like I've really expanded that out. Yeah. I don't even know how it ended up being this big in the first place, because when you take all of that out, you could really fit in a lot more. But probably this should be just a little bit bigger, and this should be a little bit smaller. There we go. Ooh, now that's asleep. Okay, well, we're gonna keep this going. I don't know if I'm gonna take another trade or not. I do like the idea of short '09, but I'm not getting like necessarily like it's just dead. So I kind of think though that maybe on the European close that we could move down a little bit. But I'm gonna go like, take a little break because I've been sitting here for a while. We usually don't trade this late, so I'll be right back. Let's see here. Ace says he's getting a long single at 32, 43, 25. Okay, yeah. I mostly wasted my time today, except for that one ES trade that made me money. Yeah. I don't know. There was, it seems to me like somebody really wanted to go short the E-mini and didn't give up on it very easily. And is maybe still licking their wounds. I understand. I mean, today is the day where they're going to battle it out, right? So I guess it makes sense to me that it did that. Some odd moves, though, today wasn't there. Playing the value area isn't so cut and dry in a trend day, but a rangy day is a mess, so it works. Market lacked spunk today, probably because of that 3-year note auction. Oh, was there a 3-year note auction? Oh, okay. I was not sure about selling at the top. Could have done that several times, but was not seeing how the value VP could hold. Volume profile could hold. Then on the downside, I lost a clear opportunity for going long. Mostly wasted my time today. I gotcha. So, but Uzi, you're saying when it is a, I guess the gist of it, what you're saying is that when we're on a range bound day, that you just want to fade the edges of the volume profile, essentially, like buy at 06.5, essentially, which is where we went down to. Yes, I should be glad I didn't dig a hole from which I expect to get out of before the end of the week. That's good enough in the trading world. Yeah. All right. Sometimes you make money by not losing money, for sure. I mean, that seems to be my big problem, right? Is like I'll have a bad trade or a mistrade or something like that, and then I lose my mind. Right? I mean, you could be wrong if the day explodes, but it's a foundation for your plan for the day, for example. Sure. I kind of get what you mean, though, where it's like, if you're looking at the last swing, for instance, normally you would be saying, oh, we'd want that to hold and all that sort of stuff, right? But on a day like today, that's unlikely to be the case. So you don't want to read that. So you should try and take a higher level view. Makes a lot of sense. Makes market shoots up like gangbusters right to the point where I get in. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. It's up, down, up, down. It's clicking around a lot. Well, we have another set of series of inside bars here too. So if we're able to break then a new high, this is a really good trade. I really like the setup base. Like I bet you. Well, this is maybe not unreasonable. Look, there's this big one up at 47. And that's interesting that they're only here on the micros. Probably doesn't mean anything then. Struggling to get past 44. Yeah. I don't know if I would call it issues so yet, but There certainly seems to be some balance here in this area, doesn't there? And we caught an okay spot within that balance. Hmm. Even though I like the setup, this is also kind of suggesting to me that a lot of people are done. It certainly is calming down, isn't it? Even the Dow turned down and went up, went 80 up total. Hmm. Yeah, they're not really hitting into 44, are they? That looked like some stops there. Hmm. Acting a little heavy now. Win some, lose some, eat a big bag market. Hmm. What was that? Uh, they're ticking across 990, 09 in the E-mini. Hmm. Some volume building there at 43. See a couple of ticks, a little no lube, need this AM all smooth. Strange how E-mini's acting with the other two up positive. So the other two are up really big then, huh? It seems to me that the amount the cumulative delta has moved compared to the amount of volume that I'm seeing on the tape is kind of odd. I would have expected this to be up a lot more than just 1,000 through all this. I guess from the lows, it's more like 5,000, but still. Some of these nodes, there's been thousands of contracts traded. Uptick. 44 is still, I mean, they're going to eat into it now. I guess those guys at 44 just want fills, huh? Oh, actually, he pulled. Yeah, you see my eye twitching? I don't feel stressed right now. Why is my eye twitching? There you go. I love it when I pick the top of the market just to get stopped out so it can go my direction later, right? I noticed this happens a lot in trading, doesn't it? This is why I'm totally convinced by this idea that the higher your time frame is, the more likely you are to be profitable. Because how often that just seems to happen to me way too often. And then conversely, when you decide to I don't double down, but I will like stop out of a trade and then, let it go a little bit and then try fading it again and, fade it over and over again. I do that all the time lately, it seems like. And, when you do that, then it'll just keep going and going. Your cough is compensating for the eye twitch. I guess I'm just sick. I was super tired. Like yesterday, I was like struggling to stay awake at my workstation all day. And we had a lot of meetings too, so it was hard. And then I came home and I fell asleep for, it must have been an hour. And then I, just kind of lured around and do a whole lot. And then I went to sleep and I almost immediately fell asleep. So, which I was concerned because I took a long nap. Sometimes that makes it hard to go to sleep. But no, I was tired. I guess, I'm just sick. So that must be why my eye is twitching. But I don't even know if you can see it on camera. It'll just kind of like a little flutter in my eyelid. Well. There could totally be more in this, but I just don't like the way that happened. That was a bad reason to get out. Hot water with 3 cough drops in honey is good for a cough. Dude, it's not. Maybe now 16, please. You're going short? They sure look like they could just dump there, doesn't it? I'm kind of sitting here looking at it and thinking, okay, is there another 6 points in this? I mean, I definitely see this area to 47.50. That was probably a bad reason to get out. Like, why am I freaking out? Because it went down a little bit? Because I see a hammer? See a hammer after an upturn? That's good, right? No more commitments for me today, but I would like to see if my read was good. Yeah. Hey, sure. I don't know. When I look at the 30-year by itself, I'm like, oh yeah, they're totally going to go down and get it. But then when I look at the 10 and the 5-year, I'm like, I don't know. What was that? Was a little bit of Finickiness at 07. Trade deficit narrowed. Maybe that's why we turned. No, I mean I think that 8 o'clock news was definitely the big key in the E-mini at least. Like that's when things really changed, right? We were on the lows and then we pumped up, and then there was this whole thing which I think must have been longer term short stopping out. Then we get up to here. You know, now I'm getting into this like how far will it go sort of game. And this just looks to me like it has a high probability of a pullback. In fact, look at that. Now we might get a buy here. 22 held for the couple of ticks. 25 is the hours overstacked with bids, so retest 22. Not enough buyers. Light stops at 22. Maybe trigger more selling to guess 16. Do you ever find it difficult sometimes to get to an area and, you know, how do you objectively determine if there's enough buyers or sellers? You know what I mean? Like say we get into a range, like we come up to 090 when we were up at 090. That's like actually the perfect example. So we're up at 090. I'm not getting a lot in level 2, so and it's late, so I don't really know what to do in that area. Was there more buyers or sellers? And when you look at cumulative delta, it's going up a little bit, but then it comes down. So like what could I have seen in order flow that would have told me to go short at 090 other than that had been resistance for quite some time? You're kind of just taking an educated guess at that point, right? Well, I'm glad that I got out of that because now you could buy it again. Strange how the E-mini just can't hold above 44.45. It can't get through. Yeah. Well, you know, to me, Gary, it's just still weird that all through here, I wish I had volume showing, but all the way really from here, sellers. I mean, cumulative delta, yeah, sure. 7,000 long. But there was big bids and offers like absorption like everywhere. I try to guesstimate from the current trades column on the down move in ZB. I saw 400 hit the bid at 20. Then I look at the bids going down and see how that 400 holds up to them. $400 hits the bid at 20, but there's 400 plus at 19, 18, and 17. So like we need really big follow through. Yeah. I don't know. That just goes back to this bizarre thing that happens where it's like you get to a price, they'll fight on it, there's absorption, there's big stacks, and they'll go over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden, just like magic, they'll tick through it on nothing. And sometimes you think, oh, okay, let's run with that one. And then it ticks back down. But then sometimes it runs. Why does it do that? I don't know. At the end of the day, it's all a guess. We can only complicate our guesses so far before we get silly. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that area at 090 is like the perfect example of an area that I personally cannot read very well. This one, when we were at 06, easy long. Actually, maybe not so much an easy long because it was news. But that's what you want is when you see those histograms, you take it the other way. I find it interesting when I'm watching this histogram right here. It's very rare for it to go more than 50 one way or another. This is like cumulative stacking and pulling. Not cumulative, just the delta of the stacking and pulling. So was there more stacking than pulling on this bar? This bar right here, there was more pulling. Okay. Down in here, nothing. Right? I would have thought that that would be in the thousands. But that is not the case. So you know what that means, right? Most of the time, at least on a range bound day today, that you've got all of these market makers and they put their size out there, and they always have a certain amount of size out there. And when you're talking about like just retail traders or whoever it is that's coming in, there could be between two bars a difference of like 100 people that decide to start trading or not. And that's it. Really makes you think about some of the trades that we try making in the 10-year, you know, where I'm like, oh, order flow says this, it should do this. But then when you look at it from that perspective, you realize, okay, 100 new buyers into the market, who cares? You know, who cares? You really need to move. You really need to move to be trading the order flow like that. Now that's what we got here in the E-mini. I think you could buy this because you got this spike in here. All this spikiness tends to mean reverse. What about before that? Right there. That one's a really good example. Tends to mean reverse. Temporarily, at least. Okay, well, you know what? It's 9:30, guys. So we made back some of what we lost. So it wasn't okay. Basically break even with respect to yesterday. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And Wednesday might be a big day. So see you guys then. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.